Do You Mind by DJ Khalid is on in the background. Hey, Sagittarius. So this is going to be for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mercury, North Node. Guided to this video if you don't have Sagittarius in your chart and not dealing with anybody that has Sagittarius in their chart. Maybe there's some messages in this video for you too. Cusp babies, I include you in my readings because your sun sign represents who you're trying to be before you pass over in this lifetime. So if I state your date of birth, that means that you're a cusp baby. If I don't state your date of birth, that means that you are a regular Sagittarius when it comes to your sun. So Scorpio / Sagittarius, November the 18th through November the 24th. Scorpio / Sagittarius, November the 18th through November the 24th. And then Sagittarius / Capricorn, December the 18th to December the 24th. Sagittarius / Capricorn, December the 18th to December the 24th. So if you're new to my channel, I do give messages to the collective while I'm giving these readings. So I always have a timestamp at the bottom section of the video where you can go directly to the beginning of the reading if you're pressed on time, right? Or if you don't want to hear me talk. Moving forward, if you use your free will to state that I talk too much, you will be blocked and you will not be able to get back on my channel, okay? Because I'm not unblocking anybody, right? Later on, even after, I'm just not going to do that. So make sure you use your free will the right way because, like I said, you don't have to hear me talk. You can go and to the timestamp and then go get the messages that way to go directly, okay? Don't automatically eliminate yourself by saying some shit in the comments because you're gonna automatically get blocked. I'm not playing, okay? So the North Node, I include you in my readings because your North Node represents who you're trying to be before you pass over in this lifetime. So if I state your date of birth, that means that you're a cusp baby. If I don't, oh, I already said that, excuse me. North Node. My mind just went away. North Node. North Node represents your past life karma. So your old past lives and your old life, right? Whichever one is your first life, when you first touched Earth, you are remembering who you first was when you first touched Earth until now. That's part of the Great Awakening. The reason why it's so, I'm just going to say this. The reason why it's so hard for people to recognize the gods and the pharaohs and the queens and the kings for who you are, and they really are, is because of all the experiments, all the time, like every time that your soul stays here, when you're a god, aka pharaohs, right? You lose your power every time that your soul reincarnates. So just imagine if you are somebody that is a soul, because a soul and spirit is two different things. And that's another reason why that was a part of confusion, right? When they sit there, the people that were the elites and shit, and they decided to put all this information out, they wanted to confuse people because there's a difference between a soul and a spirit. A soul is somebody that can reincarnate over and over and over and over and over. And those reptilians knew that Ra's family members were able to do that. So those pharaohs and Lucifer, remember Lucifer was Ra's son, okay? AKA Jesus. They just changed the name. Remember the J was a Y. Yahweh, if his name, okay, remember my biggest thing when it comes to y'all Christian folks, this is my thing, because y'all kill me, right? Because if his name was Jesus, how is that possible? Because back then, J's was never a part of the original language, so how can they call him Jesus? It was Yahweh, right? So Yahweh, if you go to the Yahweh story, when Yahweh and the Muslims tell the story about Yahweh, Yahweh didn't never come back. Guess what? Because it was Lucifer. When Lucifer came back, his second life, the reason why they didn't want Isis and Osiris to have that child of Horus, the reason why they killed Osiris and his soldiers and the reason why they betrayed Osiris, right? And cut him up, and the only piece that Isis could not find was his penis, right? The reason why of that is because Isis and Osiris was destined to bring back Isis's father, which was AKA Horus. AKA Horus is who? Because when you go They tell you Horus is connected to Jesus, right? So if I'm telling you that, remember, like I told you, if you connect the dots, the dots is there easy. It's just up to you to see it or not. The more that you sit there and deny the truth, the more that you sit there and keep your soul and your spirit stuck. That's nobody's fault but yours. That's a part of your free will. You are taking part of you keeping yourself and your soul spirit because you do not want to see the truth for what it is. Nobody else. So when it comes to the decade of Aquarius and you made a decision to believe this shit instead of getting outside of your own box and learning your own true soul and spirit journey, that's how they keep hold of the flunkies, aka lost sheeps. Because you got to remember, these people been controlling your soul and your spirit for a long time. They've been able to, they know exactly what to do. They know exactly what can take you out. They know exactly to put in your food. They know all that. That's the reason why they took control over the forms from the Manelan people and shit. They knew what the fuck they was doing. And if them farm members didn't want to fucking buy out to these corporations and all these shits, then that's when they would sit there and contaminate these farmers' fruits and shit. Or sit there and come with this property shit. Yes, like I said, this is all a master scheme to keep your sleep ass sleep. So like I said, decade of Aquarius, it's none of that no more. You're remembering who your soul and spirit is. So if you is one of them souls that been reincarnating over and over and over and over, yeah, you finna go through a twilight zone like a motherfucker, homie. Because guess what? If you one of them originals, one of them real originals, your life in 2021 is supposed to go fast. Real quick. And you ain't even gonna know what the fuck hit you. Because it's your time to wake up. And this because Sagittarius, Ra was the first Sagittarius. It's his bloodline. The circle is a bloodline. It represents the circle of life. They knew that Ra's bloodline was a circle of life. So that's the reason why they created this motherfucking fake ozone layer. Because when your soul and your spirit when you die, your soul is supposed to boom, pop out of it. Your soul is supposed to boom, pop out of this hole. But they created this visible force, which was their ozone layer. So every time that you fucking die, you're going to go right next to the body that they gave you because they took the last thing that they needed was the Mayans, the AKA Aztecs, homie. And they got that. That's what they got. And after that, they was able to control life. Any pharaoh life after that, they can do whatever the fuck they want to. Half of them motherfuckers, y'all probably clones and don't even fucking know it. Because guess what? You don't know who you are. So guess what? They can do whatever the fuck they want to do with your body, your soul, and your spirits, and you don't even know that. Until it's game time. And that's in game. Okay? There's reasons why they're pushing out all these movies for a reason, because they know we don't have no more time. And some people going to be like, they going to go from being some people going to go from being homeless on the street to being a fucking superstar in the decade of Aquarius. Watch this. Because they didn't even know that these motherfuckers was holding their fortune down and they was set up to go out in greatness. And like I said, I always said, the ones at the bottom always going to end up at the top. Once they get their bloodline identity back and they soul and spirit identity back. Now spirits are able to reincarnate because guess what? Those spirits that was a part of those reptilians, all those other, species, they finally got a tap of fist because like I said, whose bloodline was the circle of life in order to make everybody else live? So of course they got to keep those souls and traps. They got to keep their souls and spirits trapped in here. We need them to reincarnate every time because they are our life force, the Holy Grail. Like I said, all that shit's coming out. They can never, in Decade of Aquarius, they can no longer deny you your birthright. And they do that. They try to eliminate everybody any way possible to try to take you out during this decade. They sit there and didn't teach you about it because, like I said, it's all a part of Mortal Kombat. When y'all see that movie, y'all gonna understand. Y'all ones that is woke. Watch when y'all watch that Mortal Kombat movie, how much messages and how many downloads you gonna get off of that shit. Like I said, you the ones that was the kids when Mortal Kombat first came out. Like I said, you 70 babies, you 80 babies, you 90 babies, and the beginning of 2000 babies. Bro, like I said, y'all, a whole new world. Don't you dare close your eyes. And I mean that. Because they use y'all in the brainwashing it. Man, like I said, a lot of these people that's in these 70s, 80s, 90s, and these two early 2000s, y'all the gods and the pharaohs that they was trying to keep sleep. Let's be real. That's the reason why they put that herpes in your fucking chicken pox shot. That's the reason why I don't come as the being tested anymore in the pharmacy. Because remember who took the shots? Those 80 babies, those 90 babies. Now all of a sudden they don't have chicken pox no more. Just the same way they gave them fucking Tuskegee Airmen that syphilis. You don't think that they ain't giving you sleep pharaohs and you sleep shit. They was the experiment. They was the ones. I promise you there was a god or somebody that came from a god bloodline that was a part of that Tuskegee Airmen crew in order to give them that shot. They only need one. They only need one to experiment off of. And they're willing to take out a whole crew for that one. This is real life. Like I said, I don't play on my channel. So you can sit there, you can skip, you can do whatever you need to do. But like I said, I'm here to wake you up. Okay? And then you're going to start understanding why you can't remember who your soul and your spirit is, because the first thing that they tell you when you a child, the first thing they tell you when your child come out your mama womb, this God, this pharaoh that came out they mama womb, this motherfucker got to get some shots. For what? And if you black, you should be like, why should I get any type of shot for? My ancestors didn't have no motherfucking shots. Y'all the one that came over here and gave us the chicken pot, the all that shit. You need to really sit, you need to start questioning these people, because these people are tricking you from your God-like powers. Because you thinking that you ain't from these this when you really is. But guess what? They doing a manipulation tack because they keeping you in fear. They have had us all flunkies. And I'm not finna be nobody else flunky in 2021. And that goes for my twin flame, twin ray, divine partner, life partner, divine soulmate, family, friends. I'm not finna be nobody more flunky. I've been quiet. And that's how everybody should be feeling. Do you feel me? Yeah, and then I didn't even know that when it blew my mind when my daddy said when he got booked, right? When he got booked, they automatically took his blood pressure, was taking blood and all this shit when he was in prison. And I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck they doing all that shit for? Experiments, man. For real. Let's get these niggas in these jails because they don't know they gods. So guess what? We can do whatever the fuck we want to them while we got them locked up and they family can't see. Kevin Gates clone. Let's be real. You don't know. Same thing with military. You don't know where your family at. You don't know what they doing to your family. Like I said, when they ain't it's not even just that. Like in America, like I said, if you ain't never watched American Gods, they cut Orlando Bloom. Is it Orlando Bloom? But Orlando, I know his name is Orlando, out of American Gods for a reason. And when he sat there, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you who he was talking to. Orlando Bloom, okay, was talking to what was her name? They called her, they gave her so many names. Isis, that's who the fuck she was. Isis, and then it was the writer, thought, the one that tells the stories, that was writing the book and sit there and stuff. He was the fucking morgue guy. When they had that scene when they were talking about like all these kids and this underground railroad system that they have created to put these kids underneath here to do all this different shit. Like I said, same thing with fucking the criminal justice system in the military too. You sending your family and friends off to sit here and go fight wars that these motherfuckers are trying to. You sending your family, and I'm being for real. You sending your family and friends out, these black people, and I'm just being for real, and I'm going to just be honest. You sending your family and friends out just to cover up your identity. Because that's all you doing. That's all they using you for. Like I said, I didn't come here to play. I know my purpose. My purpose is totally different than everybody else. Okay? But I'm going to help you get out of here. Help you get out of here. The best, when I created this deck for a reason, right? To help you get out of here. Orlando Jones. Yes, that's his name. That scene. Shit, if you ain't gonna watch that scene right there, that's what took his ass out. Him and that whole fucking time that he was in there, that he a cold motherfucking, I salute him. Because the part when he said, I am not a god, but if I was, he was playing, remember these actors know who we are. They playing their role of who you are. And they got to act it the best way that they know that you as this God that's watching them is going to play this role. So when they gave him that role, he knew that it was going to fuck him over his whole fucking career. But he went out with a motherfucking bang, and I salute him. Because he's going to help them American gods. I promise you, in 2021, they already telling you who you are. You already, and American gods, they already told your whole business. They just waiting for you to see if that's you on that camera, on that TV that you watching. And put your real life shit into what you've been going on and how you sit there for your life when you was a child until now. So, Sagittarius, know where you come from. And when it comes to representing that Sagittarius symbol, because that's raw. Nobody else. And it's his bloodline. So let's go ahead and get started. And if I just heard somebody say both of my parents is a Sagittarius, baby girl, if they both Sagittarius, whoever you are, tap into your motherfucking energy, because guess what? You don't know what you have holding within you. You got some fire burning within you. Let that shit out. $175 in the chat. We got 55 likes. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, as well as share. It's Aries season, and then it's Aries season. So this is part of your soul tribe, your soul sister, soul brother. So this is time for you to gain that passion back. If you've been burned out, if you haven't had motivation or passion, get that passion in during Aries. Just don't control the negative side of you as being a fire sign. The characteristics of rage, lust, temptation, control, ego, lack of self-confidence. Okay? Don't come looking for love. And they want me to go back to finish because I know I cut myself off. So I'm hearing my ancestors because they want to make sure I have a point when I say this video. Anytime somebody has original scrolls and they rewrite it or they change the names of any any of those originals people's names, and they rewrite these names and different energies for these gods or these goddesses, right? So like for you Christian people, that when I said, why would you be calling his name Jesus when there was no such thing as a J, it was Yahweh. And then when they told you Yahweh was the bloodline of the like you got to think about a lot of stuff. The same story that they told Horus left Egypt to go fight and defend his father, right? So when they killed Osiris, right? When all that stuff happened with, he came back to defend his like Simba and the circle of life. Came back to defend his kingdom, right? So the same thing when they told Jesus, go hide. Like for real. Like I'm just there's so many things that like it's so much rewriting history that has been done to manipulate somebody. And then for y'all to sit there and not, if there's so many rewriting, there's so many different names, why are y'all not questioning that? That should be the first thing that you should question. Same thing like one thing when they said that Jesus left to when God told Jesus to go blend in with the color of his people. When they gave a description of what Jesus looked like, he had woolly hair. Who has woolly hair now? Right? It's not what you show us and you give us the image of what you paint in this picture of. So that should also give you a alert. Okay, something's wrong here because what you say he had woolly hair. This is not woolly hair in this picture that you told me. Who is this person in this picture? Do you see what I'm saying? That's when you start questioning what they're giving you, you take back control of your life, right? That's the reason why back in the day, you could not own a Bible. They didn't start giving people and let people have access to Bibles. I forgot. It took a long time for a person to get their own Bible because it was only given to that one pastor. And then when they had the New Testament, right? When they had the New Testament and the bloodlines decided, okay, well, shit, if we continue to keep them with this Bible later on in their spiritual awakening, every time that they reincarnate, they gonna realize that it's them, these chosen people. Let's go here and create this. We have this Old Testament, which is the original scrolls of the pharaohs that they went so hard and dug up. The Egyptians' bodies and shit. And then let's create this Old Testament. We still got to go by the laws of Ra, because if we don't go by the laws of Ra, then we know it fucks up our bloodline. But we still got to dominate these sleep pharaohs. So we got to sit here and make a way to keep them in this book, because we know we the ones that giving them their language. So whatever, like I said, Old English, they taught us. When you go to Europe, and when you go to that other side of town and you are from America, their English, they speak English way better than what we do. Their English is different than our English. Old English, new English. Do you hear me? So I feel like I'm finna do this as a story. I want to do a story about a Ra's bloodline and how they got here. So that's what I want to do. Okay, so when they created this Bible, they already knew what language. Remember, your ancestors did not speak English when they came over here and dominated them. They gave them this English and they gave them this book. Worship this book, take my English. If you don't, we're killing you and your bloodline. Or we're killing you. And then after that, anybody after your bloodline sit there, they going out too. But after they see their mom and their daddy get killed, they gonna listen. Do you hear me? That's how because there's an emotion called fear. So they know how to play this. Let's go back to what your ancestors went through for you to get to this moment now. And then some of y'all don't even know that you was reincarnating over and over and over and been going through those moments. And now you finna remember who the fuck you is. So it's gonna piss you the fuck off because you're gonna remember what your soul and your spirit true battle is. So this ain't even gonna be a Sagittarius reading. This is just gonna be me talk about Ross, bloodline. So I can help you put the pictures because those Indians still think they ain't Egyptian. Huh. So, like he said, woolly hair, right? How can you go disguise your hair, disguise yourself in because Africa at that time was nothing but white folks. Let's be for real, for real. Let's talk about it, okay? Because that was the other side of the land. So how can this Jesus or this Horus have woolly hair and go disguise themselves in a land with people that look like them when they don't look like them? Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying all this shit to sit here and make anybody mad. It's time to let go of this bullshit shit that they gave you and put the puzzle, start questioning your pastors because they know that their time is coming. Like for real, for real. The same story that they tell you about a Jesus, the same story about Horus. But the reason why they don't want to tell you that because Horus is who? Lucifer. And the reason why they didn't want fucking Isis and Osiris to sit there and have that baby because that was Lucifer's second life as Horus. His third life, he went down as Yahweh. At that time, they had control of his energy. He couldn't come back. So like I said, I'm not here to play when it comes to my bloodline. And if I got to take out nations, the ones that sit there and act like they us, I'm going to do that too, y'all. And this is my thing. Because at the end of the day, remember, they've been saying that Africa been the true motherland. So look how deep this is. They've been saying Africa been the true motherland. How is people going to feel when they find out that Africa was nothing, could never touch the United States? And they've been hiding that shit from you because United States is the real Egypt. Do you know, like I said, I tell people when all that shit come down and this government that's been running us and these history teachers and all this shit that they've been giving us, how many laws have you broke from lying and covering up these indigenous people's bloodlines to take control over land that was never yours? And I'm going to be for real, for real. So that's why I said I understand why Hitler did what Hitler did. And I'm not finna sit, and everybody's journey is different. His journey, Trump different, is different than mine. They lethal, but they gonna come and play their role, right? Because Hitler said a majority of his times in his speeches that these false Jews, are gonna go over there and disguise themselves as God's children. And he was talking about who? The children of who? The children of who? So I can go tie it back to the Muslim, because remember, if you use that word, you're gonna tie it back to Yahweh. You're gonna use that way. And then who did I just say Yahweh was? So like I said, and y'all, if he knows that, then he knows Yahweh is who? Lucifer, and it's really Ra. It's really Ra's bloodline. That's AKA God. You sitting there trying to disguise these people in God's land, and you playing? Okay? So it's coming out this year. People been waiting for this. The 12 tribes of Judas, Cherokee, which is the first people on earth. And it's not what they told you in the school books. They took out Michael Jackson because that's what Michael Jackson told y'all. He was public, and he said the history that they telling us, that shit is lies. You got to believe me. You got to know this. But with them, they scared. Like I said, them celebrities is scared. I'm not scared. I will talk and I will tell it all. Because I know it's something that I went through. I'm not scared. Because I know where my bloodline come from. So like I said, Cherokee is the first, right? Then there's Apache. And and guess who? And Geronimo, aka Geronimo, was the only chief in the United States that had supernatural powers. Out of all chiefs. That lets me know it was either Lucifer couldn't come back. And I'm going to say it here on my channel today. And I'm going to claim this. And I want these people to stop playing with me. Geronimo was the only chief that had superpowers. So that was Ra that came back his last lifetime. Because guess what? He is the only indigenous chief that this Illuminati, the Skull and Bones, aka Yell, has his skull and does blood rituals off of it. So if he's the only one, that means that he is the bloodline. So that was Geronimo. Like I said, I didn't come here to play. Okay? Let me tell you how Geronimo's wife died. They told Geronimo that his wife and his kids was away from him because he was fighting the wars. And it's so crazy that it wasn't remember the Alamo that they were saying. It was Geronimo that they were saying back then. They switched it to remember the Alamo. They're saying remember the Alamo for a reason. Yeah, the Trail of Tears. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. The 12 tribes of Judas, Cherokee, Apache, Blackfoot. Because guess what? Those two tribes that have the most of Ra's bloodline became Blackfoot. That's Cherokee and Apache put together. And they became Blackfoot. That's the reason why they took your ass. That's the reason why you didn't know what you was in the school books. Because if they told you was Blackfoot, it automatically connects you to the two dominant fucking tribes. Like I said, this game is deep. Don't stop being these people's flunkies. Stop being these people's flunkies. And if you any of those twos that I sit there and told you and your grandma and your ancestors, and you know it's time for you to start questioning these folks. Fuck being quiet. They kept our ancestors quiet for too long. And they've been sitting there monopolizing off our shit. And I mean that. Hitler knew that. He said that shit. So that man had to sit there and fake his own death. And he did it. And I mean, for real, for real. That's the reason why he let fucking Jesse Owens go over there and put his fist up. If you go back and you go to the pyramids, fucking them pharaohs got their fists like this. Regardless if they was a human face or a fucking spiritual animal face. They fist is like this. And we still doing this shit to this day. You got me fucked up. And that shit is on the pyramid walls. I want them to tell you that it ain't. That's why they don't want your ass in the Grand Canyon. That's the reason why they bulldozed all your motherfucking pyramids and made them motherfucking plateaus and taught you in their fucking school book that they was fucking plateaus. Richard Pryor did a whole fucking skit about that shit. Let's talk. I'm tired of playing. So all y'all right now, everything that's supposed to go down in 2021, because it ain't going no farther than that. I spoke today. This shit is coming out. No more fucking lies about no more manipulating, no more souls and spirits to have them paid out to be the bad guys when y'all got a whole motherfucking clone system in the process that we don't even fucking know about. You right, ISIS is here. I'm not hiding who I am anymore. I'm done running. You don't, like she said, you don't want no smoke with me. Beyonce in the background. Queen B. You don't want no smoke with me. If you want to know who I am, I'm in American Gods. Watch American Gods. I'm done with this shit.